Okay, so we are going over lesson 5.4. In this lesson, we're just doing part 2 of multiplication of monomials. And really, it's just an extension of what we did in lessons 5.2 and 5.3. We're just continuing on with that. So if we look through the steps to multiply monomials, we're going to multiply the numerical coefficients first, okay, or that base number, and then we're going to multiply the literal coefficients by adding the exponents of each common variable and carrying each uncommon variable into the answer. So if we look at the first question here, we've got w times 10w to the 3. So we take the numerical, or 1 times 10, and then we would take the literal w times w3. And we'd end up getting 10 and then times w to the 4, remembering that we have that little 1 up there, and our answer would be 10w to the 4. If we look at our next example here, we have negative 6a times a squared. Once again, we take our numerical coefficients, being negative 6 times 1, giving us the answer of negative 6. And then a times a squared, which would give us that opportunity of negative 6a to the 3. So pretty straightforward as we go here. We just got to remember to multiply those numerical coefficients and then add our exponents to our variables if they have the same base. So in this example, we have 3 times negative 5, which would give us the answer of negative 15. And then we have a to the 4 times a to the 2, so we just do 4 plus 2, giving us the final answer of negative 15a to the 6. If we just continue on with our trend here, we're going to do the exact same thing we just did. So we're going to multiply the negative 2 by negative 6. And we're going to have our y squared times y. And remember, we're just adding those exponents there. So negative 2 times 6 is 12. And then y squared plus or times y, or 2 plus 1, giving us the answer of y to the 3. So 12y to the 3 would be our answer there. In our next example here, we've got the numerical coefficients of negative 3 and 7. We multiply those. And then we've got, in our next example here, we've got p to the 3 times p to the 2. Remember, we're just adding 3 and 2, giving us negative 21 p to the 5. If we want to look over the next one, again, we take our numerical coefficient, or that number in front, so negative 2 times 3, the brackets, and then we have y to the 3 times y to the 2, and then we just include that stranded z at the end of it because it doesn't have any common variables, so we just multiply it at the end. So negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. Y to the 3 times y to the 2, remember we just add those, so it'd be y to the 5 and then z, and we're keeping good alphabetical order as we go through this. Now this one's slightly different because we got to multiply 3 terms here. So in our first bracket, we got to multiply 4 and negative 2 and 3. And then we've got x times x squared, where we do 1 plus 2. And then we've got that straggly y that we just include at the end. So before times negative 2, which is negative 8, times 3 would be negative 24. We've got x times x squared, which would give us 1 plus 2, giving us x to the 3, finishing with y. So that is lesson 5.4, multiplying monomials, part 2.